Welcome to Things Above Podcast. This is the place where things only go up from here. I'm your host, Taylar Jacquet, and thank you for joining me for another episode. If this is your first time, I want to say welcome. I encourage you to listen to some of the other episodes because after each episode, I want you to feel like you're going higher and higher. And how can you do that if you listen to only one? Okay, y'all, so let's get into today's message. The other day, I was driving down this long, narrow road. And what any of us know when driving, there is not much room for error on a long, narrow road, especially with the curves and the deep ditches. You just have to pay attention to which direction you're going in. It doesn't matter if you see all these pretty houses and stuff. If you're not a passenger, you can't focus on what's on each side of the road. So God gave me a revelation about this. As I was driving, I was able to look over into a steep ditch. And let's not imagine this any other time. Let's just imagine this right now. Actually going over into the ditch, what could happen? It's a different number of possibilities, but just know the person that goes over into the ditch is deeply injured. Okay, now that we got that out the way, just stay with me. I'm going somewhere with this. A lot of us like to play so close to the edge without any thought of or regard of what might happen if we were to go over the edge. And I want to add, the narrow road is not for the weak. You can't think you're going to travel down the narrow road, do the things that you want to do, and still survive. And the boundaries on a narrow pathway in the spiritual realm is a clear distinction of the world and the standards that God calls us to. There are so many things that I would like to do that I wouldn't mind indulging in. And this is just me being transparent. But God is calling many of us to a higher standard, a higher way of living. Even if that means leaving people you care about behind, such as friends, family, spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends, you get it, on the broad path and to take the road less traveled. And you may not be leaving these people behind for good. You can pray that they will meet you somewhere along the way. But each of us are faced with decisions, and we have to make some important decisions on how we're going to carry ourselves, how we're going to represent God and the kingdom of heaven. Not everything that everybody is doing that we should jump on the bandwagon and do. Because there is a lingering temptation to do more, to push the boundaries, to push the limits, to see how far you can go, to see how you can incorporate things of the world and still serve God. But this is impossible. Some of us are going to have to come to the realization that we're just not meant to fit in. We are not meant to do the same things that other people are doing. And the reality is, we are one decision away from eternity. So everything you decide to do in this day, it can create a ripple effect all the way into eternity. But that's just something to keep in mind. You ever been around somebody and it just seems like everything goes their way? They make connections, they get good jobs, they have a large group of friends, things are just working out for them. They get into the best parties. And when it comes to you, on the other hand, life just is not lifing. But your friend that have all these things going on also experience the most warfare. And a lot of it may stem from them wanting to do things their own way, live their own life. Whereas when it comes to you, the things that you didn't get a chance to participate in, the events that you didn't get invited to, was God's form of protection. Favor isn't fair, but favor and protection are for God's children. Embrace it and don't pout about it, because you're not missing out on anything that's going on in today's world. So today I kind of want to do something, and I think I might want to start doing this on a regular basis. So today I'm going to read a poem called The Road Less Traveled. And I write poetry as well, so I may start reading some of my poetry on the podcast, but we'll see how this goes. Correction, this is called The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth, then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way. I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Okay, so before I end today's episode, I want to give y'all a scripture of focus. It's Matthew chapter 7, verses 13 through 14, and it states, "Enter by the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and there are many who go in by it. Because narrow is the gate and difficult is the way which leads to life, and there are few who find it." Well, I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. This is Things Above Podcast. This is the place where things only go up from here. I'm your host, Taylar Jacquet. Until next time.